Good morning, traders. This week is going to be busy after today. For the installment traders, we wouldn't have a session this afternoon, a live session this afternoon. We'll have the London session, but no New York session. For my YouTube viewers, this will be your weekly outlook. I hope it helps. I would also like to inform you that these are just my views of where I think the market will go using wave analysis to make those forecasts. There's a pretty good chance most of these forecasts will change during the week because we're in a corrective structure. As you can see, this is all correction. And if you remember last week, once this happened, we pretty much assumed that the entire week we're going to be in a consolidation. And we are still in it. So I do believe this week we might break out, which means this consolidation here is going to break out one out of two ways. It's going to either break out to the top, or it's going to come deeper into this back to the bottom because you're going sideways and it can only go one out of two ways. Now, we might be able to determine where this is likely or going to go based on how this consolidation ends. And that means how it ends is still ongoing. It hasn't ended as yet. When we see the end of it, we might be likely to know if it's going to go down or if it's going to go up. As it stands right now, if you ask me, it's upside. And I'll give you the reason for that. So if you're looking at this, there's a very good chance this would continue to go up, right? Once we break this stop, we'll check how deep it comes into this. And then this drops. So we might retest this low, that's for sure. Now, what happens here would depend. If it goes back up, we're going out of this structure. If it stays here, we're going to drop again, and then we're going to come to the bottom of this. And this is where everything changes. Because if we get another consolidation here and we drop here, we're coming back to the top, but only this time the whole structure is downside. Now, that might seem a little complex for you if you don't know wave analysis. So here is a good offer to all of you who watch my videos and who are not in my group or either not in the installment program. Last week, we did a live session. You should watch that video. And I offer everybody who was in that live session who is not with us, if they would like to see what we do inside the trading room, to send me their email and their name, your full name as in the, on Skype, and we will put you into the trading. Well, those people are added to the trading room. So they would, from this week, they will be with us live. But there were a few people who watched the videos afterwards. And I was like, hey, I really watch all your videos, but I couldn't make the live session. Please, can I still get access to the 2 weeks free you're giving? Yes, you can. So I've decided, because that's probably a real thing. A lot of people couldn't come live, work, time zones, a lot of different reasons they couldn't be live, but they do watch all my videos. So if you're one of those people who think you like what I do, you would like to see how we do it inside the trading room, not on YouTube, but inside the trading room, then go to my Skype. If you would like to learn, that is if you'd like to see it, right? It's MANGAL 457. Skype. Now, if you don't have Skype, and I've had this with a few people tell me I don't have Skype. We're living in an age, if you don't have Skype, it's going to take you 2 or 3 minutes to download and set it up. You can only set up Skype simply for this purpose. I'm using Skype only for trading, for, well, keeping all my messages about trading, nothing else. Everybody that I have in Skype is a trader. Everyone who's wrote me in Skype is a trader, because we use WhatsApp and everything else for different reasons, right? Skype is specifically for this, because if somebody writes me in Skype, it means that person is a trader, and I would reply to him there, and those messages are stored there, so I can always go back to it. And I can watch messages of people who I've been communicating with 4 or 5 years ago, right? Because they would still write me and they said, hey, I'm still trying to join you. Can you tell me when you have your next course? And I was like, yeah, dude, you've been doing that for 4 years, right? Everybody else is already in and they're making money, and you're still trying to join. So write me a message on Skype. Just send me your full name. Send me your email that you would like to use first. We're going to use that to create a profile for you to have access to the live sessions. You're going to have access to the New York and the London session. You're going to also have a recording for the day. You will have it until the end of January. And if that is what you like and you would like to continue in the installment program, great. If not, you just don't have to do anything. We'll just deactivate it. That's all. So send me a Skype message and you're welcome. Let's go. So dollar index still sideways. Silver actually came down as expected, right here, and we were expecting this to be the B part of this whole consolidation that happens there. So this big correction was not unexpected. Actually, we pretty much got that perfectly in the analysis. Expected this to go back up. We got the buy. Now we're looking at a sell, and I think we can all agree we're getting a sell set up here. So if you go into 15, that should be an active sell. You can put an entry under the last impulse, which would be here. If we get a flag before that, we sell the flag. Now that would be to break this low. And that could probably happen today. So you might want to put that trade on. That is for my traders. By the way, I should disclaimer, I'm not making any trade call to anyone. I'm just giving you my views. So don't go make a trade based on what I give you. You should be able to analyze the chart yourself. You can compare with my analysis. You should be able to have your own strategy. Should be able to implement that strategy properly. You should have done the back testing on that. You should have a good money management strategy. You should have a good trade management strategy. If you don't have all of those, then you probably don't want to trade as yet. By the way, since I'm on that topic, another thing, we gave away 3 free, well, not we, that the prop firm that did the promotion with us last week gave away 3 accounts. And those guys, I hope they get their account. I'll check with them this week to see whether they got it, because I'm not really in running that. For those who don't have an account, here's what you can actually do. You don't really need to go buy an account to find out if you can make money. Because if you're not successful, buying any account from any prop firm, for that matter of fact, will be useless to you. You're going to lose. And as a matter of fact, most of those companies are based on the fact that you're going to lose. Because when they charge you a fee for the account, they're giving you a demo account. And they're hoping that you just screw it up and then they'll take the money and that's it. And if 90% of the people mess it up and 10% go ahead to the next stage, then great, right? If that 10% filter out to 5%, messing it up on only 5% remaining, then it's better for them. That's 95% of the people, they don't have to pay anything. And the 5% who they have to pay, the hope is if they keep making money, then you can actually give them a live account. So here's what you should do to avoid that. Go take a demo account for free on any broker and test your skills. You don't know how to trade? Join us. That's where you learn to trade. Join anywhere where you can learn to trade, as long as there's good quality, education there for you to learn to trade. Learn to trade first, take a demo account, prove you can actually be consistent for 1, 2, or 3 months, and then go get yourself a prop company account, because then you're going to be one of the 5% who are going to win. You want to be again, they're not doing anything illegal or anything wrong. So don't go quote me that, hey, these guys are they're not trying to do anything to you. It's up to you to win or to lose. But they're hoping that you're going to lose, and the stats shows that you're going to lose. So they're using pure stats to say this as a business proposal is a good idea. People will pay for a huge account that they can't trade. They will lose that money. We will take that money and we will give it to the very small percentage of people who can trade. And we will still be left with a good profit. Nothing is wrong with that. That's up to them. That's their business model, and it's working good for them. Might not be working good for you if you don't know to trade, but it will work great for you if you know to trade and if you're successful. Because then you would be one of the 5%, I assume, who will make money. So it's on you to make money. Take a demo account and practice. You want to learn to trade? You can join us. This is where we train you and teach you how to do it. We do at least 5 live sessions a day. I'm at least in 3 of them, sometimes 4 when there's news. And my traders will start before me. They will end without me, and they will be trading in between sometimes. So there is no limit as to how many sessions the traders can have without me in the room. Absolutely. They can come in anytime, invite others, and trade. This is the one trading room where most traders have access to run the room if they so wish to. That doesn't happen anywhere else. Anywhere else, I don't know of a trading room that is run by any of the traders, except the one person who will tell you exactly when you can come. See? So with that said, let's move on again. We're looking for this sell, and I hope this goes. Now, if this doesn't go, you know what's the minimum. It's likely going to break this low and then go back up. In that case, we can get out of this trade for positive. And that is why we should take it. Gold, on the other hand, has a problem because gold is one sharp move up here. And this one is almost at the top there. Now it's likely going to come down, and I think it should. If we get a flag here, we can sell this because it's going to come back to this one. Either it comes back like this, or either it comes back like this. Now there's a better chance that it's going to come like this. I think we all can see that, right? Because both of these are very sharp. And here's the thing. Is this the first impulse for a bigger correction to downside? Is that the first impulse making a big flat here for downside? Or is that the first impulse for the next impulse to the upside? We're still in this impulse, and we're probably still going to be in that. So a lot depends on what happens in here. Does it stay at the top here, or does it come back to the bottom here? Well, we're going to see, and I hope we're not stuck in this the whole week, because then we can still trade it, but the trades are going to be really small. Now, based on the way it looks, there's a higher probability that this thing stays here, come lower, just like silver has this big one, come lower, go back up, make a flat, and drop. That's a likely probability, not necessarily what it's going to be. Because if it goes up from here, the chances are we don't know if we come back to this top. And in that case, we're making a big flat here for a much higher move up, right? So we'll see. In time, we'll get to know which side it's going. The good thing about it is we can make those forecasts based on what we have. So this is a sell setup. You probably don't want to take it under the last impulse. You want to make sure you get a flag here to take it, because under the last impulse, you might not get an exit strategy if it's just break this low and turn, right? If it should just come here and go back up, you're not going to get an exit if this is a small flat for upside. Now, if it comes here and keep coming down and do this again, come down here and then go back up, I think by then we will know we're dropping. So we'll just have to wait and see what it does. But as of now, it's a sell setup. So I'll put it as a sell setup. You're waiting for a flag. This is waiting for a flag, and this is an active trade, by the way. Euro. Okay, we can make an argument that we complete this flat. We're going down for this piece, but it's not going down as aggressive as I would expect it to do. It's coming down really slow. Now, if this becomes the flat in here, if this becomes a bigger flat, then we're going to have all of these as impulses. So right now, it looks like this will become the bigger corrective part of it, and then we'll have a lot of impulses to complete. I would say 1, 2. So if this is to come here, and I think the likelihood is what it's going to do, we will probably go back up like this, drop again, and then go out of this correction. It's going to be an expanding flat because we broke the top, and very likely we might break this low. An expanding flat for one more up and down. Now, here's the other part of it. What if this was the end of the structure? What if this here was a 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3. In that case, this could drop, but it's unlikely again because we have this. And if you get that, it's probably not the big impulse to the downside. So if you're going to trade this, you have to trade. Now, let me take a second here, because there's a lot of people who watch this video who are not wave analysis trader, and they're like, what the hell did he just say? Right? It sounds confusing, right? What if this was? What we're looking at is what specific patterns exist that we know of. And then we're trying to say, which of those patterns is it? This small, simple pattern, or is it making a more complex pattern? Because if it's making a more complex, if it's a simple pattern, it's 1, 2, 3, this will drop. But if that is drop, it tends to behave a certain way. And when you see this, that's not how it drops. That's rare. It could drop, but that's kind of warning you that this is not how it drops. So what is likely going to happen is you're going to make another correction here that will be bigger than all of these smaller corrections here. And you will still go back up and come back down and then go there and then drop, because all of this will be a flat. So what I just did there was construct a more complex pattern. And if that complex pattern is to develop, we will follow every stage of it and decide, oh yeah, well, we got this right because we figure out what it's doing now. And then we will know how to take advantage of each piece of it. Simple. Very simple. So I don't think we should go with any trade here. We will wait on it to see what it's doing, and then we'll come back to that. Yep, this buy would have been a good break even because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. I think sorry, this is the 15 minutes. So that would be in the 15 minutes. I think this was the news base. If I remember, we're trying to trade the news and we kind of expect that to go. So that would have been a closer break even if it's news base. Right? Take this out. Come here. We broke this top. We broke that top, but we didn't go very far. But based on the fact that break the top, we can make an argument that 1, 2, 3 is over. What we were expecting was if it's going to do this up there, and it didn't. So we're still in the consolidation. Let's go back here, put it like this. We're still in here. And that is not good, because now if that is the case, we're making a bigger correction like this, which means huge correction, still one more up, and then downside. So trade in terms of where you can trade this, nowhere. Actually, we broke that top, so that could be over too. If you break the top of that, then we might be making something else. Let me just go back and make sure that the top is not broken. We actually broke the top. So basically, this would be something else of its own. This could be a flat forming here for one more down. But not very far, because if you take this as a 1, 2, 3, then the question is, where would this go, right? Is it coming back to this low, break the low for a 1, 2, 3? Or is it just coming to break this low and then go back up? In that case, we can go for the trade. So let's take this out. Assume that this is doing something here on its own. Go back to the 15. Try to get the trade earlier. So we'll try to get a flag here. Try to get a flag here. We're going to sell this flag for the break of this low. Put it to break even and see if it drops through the bottom. All right, there's a likelihood that that could be a trade. I'll put it, wait for a flag to sell. If we don't get the flag, we're not going to trade it. Aussie, absolutely, we're going for the sell. So I think all of you remember that buy. Remember now, we were trading the news on Friday. We got some trades, break even. I think we're 3 or 4 break even trades. And then afterwards, you take those out and you went for it. We haven't broken this top as yet. So we're still in this correction here, right? We're still in it. Now, there's a good chance that we might relook at this pattern. You could go at 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and this flag here should be the one that dropped for a 3. It may or may not break that low. We don't have to break that low, but if we break it, it's good. Then we're coming to this one. So we're pretty much consolidating in this range. Right, that's a range of consolidation. And if you're consolidating at the bottom there and this move down, and the chances are if this comes here, go back up, break the top, it's going to drop. Right, then we would have completed the flat and we're going to drop. So there's a sell setup here. Again, I don't think that is the one that is going to drop through the bottom, but we can take the trade and just manage it to see how far it goes. That'll be an active sell. New Zealand will be an active sell because we complete the structure. I think we can agree that this totally complete that structure there, maybe, or we're still in this one. So if we look at 1, 2, 3, this is 1, 2, 3. This would be the end of that structure totally. So the sell here this morning would have been perfect if anyone took that sell. New Zealand was one of the profitable on Friday. If you took that sell, great. If not, we can look for a sell setup here. You want to see a flag there because that should break out of the structure and come down. And that might be the start of the downside. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if New Zealand is leading the downside where everything else will follow eventually. So let's see if we get that sell set up. Wait for a flag. It's not a flag as yet. It's just 2 sharp moves. Wait for a flag sell. Got it? Okay, it came down a little more, exactly what we wanted it to, but just a little more here. They're going up. That's a buy setup. We'll buy there, we'll buy with the flag. If it comes lower, give us a flag. Now, there's a good chance that when you make this move up, which would be this one here, right? Maybe a little more. It doesn't have to go that far, but when we make that move up, we're likely going to come back down. Complete this flat pattern. Now, we don't have to come back down for this one. We're assuming that this is the flat. There's also a version where this could be the flat, and this just takes off without coming back. So the buy here is a good idea. It's a really good idea because if I'm wrong about this down move, it's going to totally go up, and that's what you want. Swiss was a good sell. Let's see where it is. It didn't really go that far. I think a lot of them we just took break even. It didn't break out of the structure. It's actually going back. So we might be looking at this whole piece internally differently, a little different because this was not the impulse. So 1, 2, 3 here. Can we probably look at it as this piece? If we take this to be the 1, 2, 3. then this move, and this 1, 2, 3 here, which means we're going up back for this. At some point, this here makes a high and come back down. So the buy here is a good trade. You just have to be very careful when it breaks that top, because it might not go very far. That is assuming that this goes, right? If it doesn't go and it keeps dropping, we will be in a bigger correction here. And that is a possibility, right? Because we still have to decide whether this is the top or this is part of a running flat here with this one. And in that case, we'll just drop here. This will just probably come here and go back up, making this a bigger correction. That possibility exists. In that case, we'll have to relook at the internal structure of this whole piece. For now, the buy is not a bad idea. It's not going to tag you if it's coming down lower, but there's no sell setup if it's coming down lower. We'll have to wait. So we put it for a buy, and that could change within today. Yen drop, pull back pretty deep. I think there was enough time for you to take profit. If you didn't take profit here, you could have closed it here. There was a lot of time to do that. And like you said, Friday is when it dropped. It didn't go as far as you want, but good enough. Worst case, break even. We have a flat here, and this is a little strange. We have this, we have flat. So if this starts to drop, there's a good chance we will retest this low. This would just be a deep correction. So what you want to do is you want to wait to see whether this gives a flag. I wouldn't put the entry here because there's a risk it makes a flat here, go back up, make another one, and you will be taken out of this trade before that happens. Right? So we wait for this to come down, make a flag, take the flag to the downside. So I'll wait for a flag to sell. We don't have any buy setup here. I don't think you want to buy above there. Let's wait for better correction if we're going to buy. Let's say this is the final drop, but we're trying to go to retest that up. We wait for this to make a flat that we can trade to the upside. There's still a good chance we'll retest this low before they go, even if they go back up. Euro yen, I think this could have been a break-even trade. This was easily, that wasn't a tough one. It's spent there very long. And we're making something like this for one more up. So we can pull this here. We broke out. I'll take, sorry, not this one. I want to take the arrow off there. That was the forecast. Yep, take this off. Kind of drop, it's pulling back. Now you're going to look at this two ways. One is we're pulling back the drop. And that's a good idea, right? That is in line. That this pullback doesn't really mean much because it's going to drop here. Or you're pulling back to retest the top and then come back down, right? Like this did. So we're making a smaller one. This is going to go retest the top and come. So the question is, which way do we get the trade for? Well, let's come into where it is. We're here. We don't have, we don't have a sell setup. Right now, we actually have a buy setup. You can put an entry order above the top. You want to stay a few pips above the top, at least one spread or so. Right? So we can actually put an entry above the top and wait to see if it breaks. And the more it consolidates, the better for us. If you're going to sell it, this has to drop. Make a flag here. And then we're going to sell. So without that, we don't have any trade to the downside, but the trade to the upside is valid, so you can put this as a buy setup. EuroCAD. Drop to the bottom, go right back up. I think this was easy because we had these two flats here. We got a sharp one. This is the buy side. This was the sell. You should have closed that trade here, close it here, put an entry here. We're looking for a buy. One more move to the upside and then downside. So there's probably just one more push to the top here. And then we can expect this to drop. Now here's the problem with that. We're in this sideways move here. Like you can see it literally. Problem with that is that now we're going to have a really, really complex pattern because this seems really corrective. So if and when we drop here, because we will drop there, we'll probably finish this move, which means one more up, maybe one more down again. That is this one, right? One more up, and we still have to do this. So it's probably going to go there. One more down, come back here, which will complete this one. Then we still probably will go back up for this, complete that one, and then drop. So we're going to drop, but there's a long sideways move happening here. And this might be the core correction we're in right now. So there's a buy setup here, and then we start looking for a sell. Euros, okay. It seems like we've got this flat, and we have a very good buy setup here with an entry above the top. Wait for a breakout. I think we broke out already. So if you're putting it like this, 15 minutes. Yeah, I could make an argument that we broke out already from this structure, but you don't want to be tagged in it as yet. So put an entry above the top should it take off. If it's going to come back down, that's just a break that didn't go anywhere. Could even be like this as an expansion. There's a possibility we're looking at something like this, but it's still upside. So that's a buy setup. Euro New Zealand, same thing. We'll put this lower. It's going to be here. And that is a buy setup. So we'll go with this one. That is 1, 2, 3 for this flat. 1, 2, 3 there. 1, 2, 3 here. Any flag here is a buy. There was a flag already this morning. I think that was this one. And there was another flag here for the buy. Wait for another flag and then buy. Or a deeper correction, then buy. Sorry, guys, just saw the chat. Hi, good morning, Ovido. Just saw you. Ovido in the room? I think he left already. Ovido is in Dubai, so he's trying to probably log on. Yeah, just saw that. So let's see. So this is a huge correction, right? Once we break this top, the chances are we're going to come back down. Now, are we going up as a 1, 2, 3? That's the only next question. Whether it starts making a deep, big correction here, go back up there, complete this whole thing, and then come back down. Because I don't think we're totally going up. I think we're just making a big flat at the bottom here, after which it should drop. Right? Because if we're going up, this is what it would look like. Not like this. So this is definitely more downside. Wait for a flag to buy. Euro Swiss. Okay, this sell wasn't bad. Actually, it dropped very nice. It pulled back. It's here. Either we're thinking bigger flat here because it still looks downside. Either bigger flat there or we're making a running flat here, which was a possibility, right? We looked at that possibility. It's making a running flat. These are just not all the corrections. These are just part of it. You got this one. Then you got this one. Right? Now you can get this one, which means this can drop here and still go back up, come back down, go back up, and then drop. Still sideways, right? So do we take this sell setup here? Well, we don't have a sell setup as yet. When this is consolidated, then we'll wait for a drop. And it does look like we're going to get a drop. So wait for a flag to sell. Euro pound. Okay, this is more of a lot of break-even trades. Take them out. We have a huge consolidation on there. And we're kind of doing this. Take that out. We finished that, but we're doing this, which eventually goes up. Right? If you do that, if you look at that, eventually it goes up. Either for a bigger flat forming here in this one, either all of this mess here with all of this here turn back to be something like this, and then all of that is just one piece for downside, or this actually takes off up and retest the top. So the buy setup here is not a bad idea. When you have a move like that that is not going anywhere, the best way to trade it for the buy is to put an entry under the last impulse. Now the last impulse is this one, because this one is already here. You can use this, assuming that this piece is making a running flat or so. So this will be an active buy. Pangos. This is looking more like it's going to make one more up here. So let's see if it's that consolidation stays here, it's one more up, and then we'll be looking for the downside. Right? If it comes down and consolidates in this range, that would be downside totally. So look for a buy setup first. Pound Swiss. It's kind of still going up, but this piece is starting to look like it can drop. This piece here. Then we can agree that this is not going anywhere, which means this might drop. If that should drop, then all we need to do is have an entry order here. Because if it drops, a drop could be sharp like this. All right, we're going to assume that first it could drop here. The assumption is first it could drop here and then go back up, or it's just going to drop through. So this piece could drop, keep an entry under the low. If it goes, break the top, take it off, take off the entry, wait for this to come, make a flag, and then sell. So the sell setup is a good idea right now, but short term. Pang Yen. Okay, that drop, that gave you a break even here. I think that was an easy one. It's kind of going sideways. It's not going up, it's just going sideways. So if it makes a consolidation here, because this could be all the correction, right? This could be correction by itself. So what you want to see is you want to see this. And if we get that, we'll buy it to the top. If we don't, then they come back lower, which means if this comes here lower, times are it's going to drop through this and sell entry should be here. So we'll first go with the sell entry. I'll put the sell under the low. And we'll see if it drops. Should it go back up, we'll have to wait here for a flag. That will take a while. Pound New Zealand. It's going up. You shouldn't buy it there. That was the entry before it dropped so deep. Right? If you're targeting that, take it off break even, wait for a flag. If you bought it here, it's perfect. If not, wait for a flag for upside. So this is definitely not where you buy it. Although you're positive right now, that shouldn't be the trade. Let's see. It has some more upside. So we're expecting it to go much higher, at least at this level, and that will give us this first piece here for running flat. So the thought process is we're in this running flat here. And this should bring us up to, let's say we're working this one or that one to this point. So let's see, buy setups. Wait for a flag now to buy. Punkat. I think Punkat is pretty close, pretty clear too. This one is a nice running flat. That is a buy setup you have here in the 1 hour. On the 15, you would see it much better. So put an entry above the top to buy. Put an entry here, let's see if it goes. Because if that goes, we could go back all the way to the top. See? So we get the bigger flats. We were looking at this one, and then we got this one, and now it's more upside. I think we're expecting this to go somewhere. Maybe even break this top. There's a good chance we might even break that up. So the buy here is a good one. Aussie yen. Well, this is not going anywhere. I think we'll get a running flat here because we didn't get that up move. Now we have it. So close this or break even, put an entry here. And be careful with this because we don't know how far this is going to go. When it breaks, it should come here and then probably upside. We might even retest this low. Come here and then upside. That would mean that we'll be looking at this as a running flat. So it's a possible running flat. The sell is not a bad idea. If we get a flag before that, we sell it. Is this trying to go up, or you'll have to wait for a consolidation here? So it's an active sell, and then we'll see. Aussie CAD. Upside, you're getting this one. You can actually buy this with an entry here. That looks like a small flat. Canadian. So if you took this trade, you close it. It's kind of pulling back, but that by itself doesn't mean anything. That's just a pullback, and we could still drop. You could put an entry order on the low, but that is only if you think it's going to drop straight through very fast. Otherwise, to that, wait for this to drop, make a flag, take a 15-minute flag to downside. So wait to 50 minutes. Wait for it to come down, wait for a 50-minute flag to sell. If it keeps going up, we're not going to be in the trade. You don't want to buy that 50-minute flag. It's not confirming upside as yet. Aussie, New Zealand, we're consolidating this off. It's consolidating here, so that's a sell setup. Consolidating in this range. That has become a sell setup. One more up. So in the 4-hour, where is this going? Well, it's still in consolidation, so we don't know. Maybe drop one more, then go back up. I don't think we're still in this big sideways move here. This might not be it. This might not be this pattern. Okay, let's see where it's going. So wait for the upside and then look for the sell. Aussie Swiss. Sell setup. It's pretty flat. It's going sideways. It's not going anywhere. So we wait for this to finish. Whatever that is doing there, it's going really slow too. So we want this to kind of come back here, go back there, complete this. Maybe then drop. Aussie Swiss, New Zealand yen. This was the flat. And this is going really, really, really slow. So take that out. It still looks like a sell setup, but it's going really slow. So you can put an entry under the low. An entry under the low. And wait to see what this does. New Zealand cat, sorry. New Zealand cat. Okay. This could be ready for the downside. You could make an argument for 1, 2, 3, and this is coming down. There was a nice flag there. There was a smaller one here. Wait for this to drop, make a flag, go for this trade. New Zealand Swiss. Okay, this broke out, didn't go anywhere. I hope you managed to close it here. I don't think that was a trade. This was showing break the top, right? I think we're looking for this to go break the top, like 1, 2, 3, break the top, then come back because we're in this piece. So because the trade would have the entry here, right? So it was here. We're looking for the top. We broke the top. It's sideways. Wait for a sell setup. Any sell setup here would be a good trade. Swiss yen. Okay, so you wanted to break out of this, make a sideways, and then put an entry for the sell. If this sideways is what we think it is, it should drop. If it's going to go up, you need a flag. Cat Swiss. Okay, we made 1, 2, 3. We're coming down. This is a good sell setup here because you're still in the downside of this correction. We're still going down, right? So we made this flat drop, bigger flat drop. This should come back to the low. You want this here to kind of do this drop. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, maybe just in a single move you come here. And then probably go back up. Okay, so this broke the top of it like this. That means that this is a 1, 2, 3 breaking out of the top. Well, let's wait and see what it's giving us. We don't really have much. We look for a sell setup from the top coming down. Right, if you're in this, it looks, this could be all correction. This whole piece here could be all correction. Right, we look from a sell from here going down. Natural gas. We're making a flat at the top here for upside. And it's kind of incomplete, which means you're expecting this to consolidate here. Then drop to this level, and then we're looking for the buy setup. So it might be a bigger one than that, but we'll have to wait and see. But that's a consolidation for upside as it looks right now. So if you're in this sell, great. I hope you took some profit. It's still a sell. Now it stopped here and it's going back up, which means we're thinking this could be all. This here could be all. And that means we want this piece up. So maybe we still get, this is the down one. Maybe we get a 1, 2, 3 up. We'll see. But we can look for buy setups. If it makes a flag there, we buy. Can it drop one more? Yeah, it's possible. But if you get buy setups, don't miss it. If this becomes a buy setup, don't miss it. If it's going to drop one more, which is possible, you have to sell it here or wait for another flag. Don't sell this small flag there as yet. You're starting. I think we should put this, although I think there might be a chance that this ended here. This looks like a 1, 2, 3 came down back, so we might be able to put this as a flat. This here is a flat. That up move will be the equivalent of this, and the down move will be the equivalent of this. So the question is it still going back up? Is this still going back up one more, or is it going to drop? We don't have any setup for that as yet, so we wait. For either side, it looks more like a sell because of the drop. It looks more like it's going to sell. This was the top and we're going down. But this is not definitely downside as yet, so we wait. S&P 500. Well, let's call that break even. You're still in the consolidation. There's a sell setup here. This might not go very far. Right, so this was the flat. Probably get another flat here. And this is the move you can go for, especially if it completes this flat. Then we go for the sell. So I would wait for setup sell. Nasdaq, let's see. That was S&P. US 30 has what US 30 has. Sell setup to probably. Nasdaq, S&P 500 sell setup probably. Wait for finish. Nasdaq, I think we have the same thing. Yep, that would have been a break even, and I think we can go for the sell setup here. Waiting for this to complete itself. So this would be a sell. Come on. Tesla sell. You can sell again. You can put another entry. This one is pretty easy. All you have to do is sell. It could get bigger, but you're selling to come back and retest this low and then upside. So this is the forecast we had for a while. Once we had that sharp one, we know this was going to be more of a consolidation. Now it's coming down really sharp, which means that if it comes down like this, we could go back up sharp, then come down, then go. So we're going to be stuck in this sideways for a while. Maybe like this. Come down back for this one here and then go up. So this is coming down really sharp. Let's see if it makes a deeper correction, but right now it's a sell setup. Okay, this should go back up and then come. Wait for a flag here, buy. So wait for a flag, buy. 0 to wait for a flag, buy. You need a flag somewhere here to buy it. It's gone, wait for another flag, buy. Well, you're not going to get a flag in here. You need a flag here to buy, but you're not going to get a flag. So let it break it up and look for a sell setup. And Nifty. You're still in the buy. So if any flag you got, you can continue to buy. Any flag you get here will be a buy setup. Right here, make a flag. And then we'll buy. Bitcoin. Okay, so came down back. It actually came down back pretty deep. So this one didn't even make a flat. It just came down. This piece didn't even complete. It could be a smaller running flat. This will be a contracting flat. If you look at it, it's going to be a very small contracting flat. And it dropped. So we're making another flat here. And if this stays where it is, that's downside. All right, so go to the 4-hour. If this is going to drop, where are we going to? Well, we could be coming back to the trend line. Just deeper pullback. This could either be just a deeper pullback and go again, or totally retest the low. Either possible. ETH. Yep. Where we expect this to go. . It went up. Let's see if it's come. Let's see if we get a flag for a sell. We don't have anything right now. XRP sideways, drop again. This should drop again one more. I think we're going to see this drop here. You have a flag already. So this is a good sell. That sell was good. You can sell here now. So this one is making this flat. Put an entry here for a sell to come back to the low. ADA. This also looks like a running flat. And a running flat is for downside. So let's see. Dash also look like we're making a flat here. I think we can agree that this is starting to look like a flat for downside. BNB. This is upside, but this didn't take off very sharp. The whole structure is upside, but this thing didn't go very sharp. And that means that this could still come back here before it goes. Just keep an eye on that. Dot sell setup. That was a good one there. And there's another good sell setup here. That is downside. And AVA. More of a sell setup. We don't have anything here as yet. All right, so look for the sell setup there. So also sideways, this should come back to the top before we sell. Link. We just broke the top, so if they want to drop now, that could work, right? If it want to drop, wait for a flag like this, sell. Let it come back here, make a flag, sell. We don't have anything much. And this one. This could be something. This could be a running flat. If you look at it like this, 1, 2, 3. A running flat for downside. So wait to see. We put this as the flat. We'll put this as the sun. And see if you get a sell setup. Gala, the final one. It is going down. You need this to consolidate here, and then it's a sell setup. I didn't need it to come here. Come back to that one, drop again one more, and then we'll see for the sell. Then we look for the upside. Upper one time and then go. So that just completed everything. Once again, reminder, we have London session. We don't have a New York session today. Join us. So I'll stop the recording.